Hi, I'm Betsy McAtee, CEO of Dreamland BBQ, and so excited today to be joined by Dr. Beck Taylor from University, president of Samford University. So, welcome.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. It's wonderful to see you again after so many years.
Yes, absolutely. And just kind of our history. You were the dean of the Brock School of
That's
Business
right.
when we originally
hmm
met, and Dreamland was part of a business makeover.
That's right. I remember many afternoons sitting around a table with you and dreaming about Dreamland and just thinking about how to grow the business and how you were thinking about the business at the time. And it was a wonderful opportunity to get to know you and obviously this great organization.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that was a pivotal time for us because one of the people that was so instrumental for where we are today, John Welch, was actually sick and had just passed away during that time. So
I remember that.
he and I had worked very, very closely together. It was like a brother to me.
hmm
And just being able to have that kind of outlet to talk about it and to bounce things off was just an incredible experience.
Well, that was a lot of fun, and it was good to connect you to Sanford as well.
Yes, yes, and we are very fortunate to have Samford University right here in Birmingham, Alabama.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a great place, a great school. I've got a long history there, and it is a special place. So thanks for saying that.
Yes, so you were at Samford, and then you had another opportunity. Let's
Yes.
talk through that a little bit.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I was dean of the Brock School of Business. Got to do that for 5 years from 2005 to 2010 and loved it, loved Birmingham, and even had a child here in Birmingham, our youngest child, Chloe. But then an opportunity came to take a presidency of another university. I felt like that was a calling that I was kind of living into. And so we moved the family to Spokane, Washington. I don't think you have any restaurants in Spokane.
No, we
Not
do
yet.
not. We
Um,
don't.
in fact, they don't have very much barbecue up in Spokane, but it was a beautiful place, lovely people, and we led a university called Whitworth University for 11 years. That's a long time, and we were away from the South for that long. But when the opportunity came to come back and come back to Sanford and come back to an institution that we already knew and loved, I say we, my wife, Julie, and me, we jumped at the opportunity. And so we've been back for just over 2 years now and absolutely loving it. And that little baby that we had in Birmingham's now back in Birmingham, finishing up her high school career here.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
full
great.
circle. Yeah,
That's great.
yeah,
So, when you were in Washington, what did you miss most about the South? Other than the
yeah.
heat. I know you miss the heat, right?
I think there's a lot of Southern culture that we missed. The South is very social, and that certainly lines up with my wife's and my personality. The food, we miss so much of Southern cuisine and Southern food, including, real smoked barbecue. And so there was a lot that we missed, including the people, our friends, things like that. But our time in the Northwest was fun and exciting, and we got to learn about a new geography and new culture. But this feels like putting on a familiar jacket coming back to Birmingham, and we're glad to be back.
Well, I know Sanford is very blessed to
Thank
have
you.
you, and I know they're excited for you to be
Thank you.
back in the role that you have now in leadership and taking that institution to the next level.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a great transition.
Where are you from the South originally?
Well, I moved around a lot as a child, but mainly lived in the South and the Southwest. Really grew up in Texas. It's not where I was born, but it's really kind of where my coming of age years were. And then inexplicably, I mean, there is a story. My parents moved to Naples, Florida. And so I went to high school on the west coast of Florida. And if you know anything about the culture of Florida, the coast of Florida is more like the Midwest in some ways. So kind of got a Midwest experience in Florida, but then went back to college in Texas, and then have lived most of my professional life in the South and Southwest.
And then where did you go to undergrad?
Yeah, so my wife and I both went to Baylor University in Waco, Texas.
Okay.
So we're proud Baylor Bears. And
Bears.
we met the very first day of class, our freshman year, in Calculus 1, and
Wow.
really dated all 4 years, and were married, right after graduation. So we started our college career there at Baylor. We worked for a little while after graduation, after we got married, but very soon after graduation, I was off to graduate school. And we went to Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana, the real Midwest.
Yes, the real name.
And so I was there 5 years working on my master's and PhD in economics. And so that was kind of our educational journey.
So, through your experiences, what has been the biggest challenge that you've seen in terms of education?
Sure. From the time I was an undergraduate, we put far more emphasis today on experiential learning than we did when I was a student. Students of today are able to exercise leadership muscles and really explore their disciplines and fields and chosen professions in amazing ways, even as undergraduates. Sometimes that looks like, a fabulous business plan competition where they get to, think about and dream about a business that they want to start.
Right.
Or it may look like doing research with a faculty member. I mean, really rolling up their sleeves and learning about a field or discipline through the field of research. Studying and traveling abroad is an amazing experience many students have. Service learning, serving organizations, nonprofits, ministries in the community. And that constellation of experiences, in addition to the classroom learning that they're doing, I think just prepares students a lot better for tomorrow, for the careers and vocations and professions that they want to follow.
So it's kind of the real world experience alongside what
That's
you're
right.
studying in the classroom.
I think that's a good way to put it. I think students are just eager to kind of try on some things. And during a typical four-year undergraduate experience, they get to try on a lot. And I think they're just more experienced and more knowledgeable about what they want to do post-graduation as a result.
That makes just for a better workforce later
does.
on, a more conscious.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, certainly fewer false starts. I think because students get to try that on as an undergraduate, it's less likely they're going to end up in a profession or field that they just are miserable in or don't have any experience in. Of course, we know that young graduates are going to change jobs and careers a lot as young people, but I do think that experiential learning in college really helps employers, helps our students and graduates, and ultimately helps the economy as well.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
So, in the time that you were away from Birmingham, when outside of eating at Dreamland BBQ, right? What was the thing that when you got back to Birmingham that you were like, okay, I gotta go do or I gotta go experience?
I think we're more eager to experience and explore Alabama coming back than we ever were when we were here the first time.
Really?
But Birmingham in many ways is the city we fell in love with many years ago. All of the right things have remained the same, but it's a better city coming back. I mean, the culinary scene is amazing here, as you know. Regents Park downtown, just some of the development that's happened here. It's really been fun to see how the city has improved even in the time that we've been gone.
Yes, yes. So much of a emphasis on food and food history
That's right.
and food culture.
And Julie and I are real foodies, and so we love to explore. There's not enough times, not enough free evenings for us to go to all the restaurants we want to go to, but we keep a shared note, on our iPhones where we write down names of restaurants, and when we have a free evening, which don't come around very often, we'll pick one of those and say, hey, let's go try this, that, or the other.
I thought I was the only person that had to do that to keep up with
I
everything.
can't keep track. We will find ourselves sitting at home without that list, and we'll say, well, where do you want to go? And we'll say, I don't know. Where do you want to go? We can't come up with any ideas. And so having a list really helps us.
Okay, so what's your go-to meal at Dreamland?
Well, I love the ribs. I mean, obviously, that is what you're known for, and that's what I'll normally get. Today, I've ordered a sandwich, I think, and so I'm kind of branching out a little bit. I want to try your barbecue sandwich, and so we're going to try that today. But really, the ribs for me, and of course, the banana pudding. We got to do the banana pudding, and I'm good for any side. Really, I'm not very picky at all, but ribs and banana pudding. This looks yummy.
Doesn't it look yummy?
I've been fasting all day, by the way, just for this.
Well, I think we've got plenty, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So you ordered the dog style sandwich,
did.
which comes with coleslaw,
Mhm.
and that's named in honor of my dad.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He would come in and get a barbecue sandwich and would want coleslaw on it.
Okay.
And so a few years ago, we put it on the menu
Yes.
and just called
Perfect.
it dog style.
Yes, I love it.
And you know, a lot of people don't know the origin of that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a great story. This is actually the first time I've ever ordered the sandwich. As I said, I usually get the ribs, but I thought because we were talking, it might be a little easier
It
to
is
do
a
the
little bit
sandwich.
So you're not gnawing, all right?
Right.
And then, of course, we've got banana pudding,
Yes.
chocolate drain. Chocolate drain is
Amazing.
made with the Bud's Best cookies also.
Yes, love it. And Bud's Best is a local company, so you're partnering with them, which is awesome.
We love to be with
Yeah.
our local companies,
Yeah.
our local vendors
That's
as much
terrific.
as possible.
That's
We've been doing local before doing local was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, good. Well, you know, my very first Dreamland experience was actually in Tuscaloosa, which is the way it probably should be, right?
Right.
And I remember my father-in-law and I driving out. It might have been 2005, 2006, and we had a day of hunting. And I knew about Dreamland. At least I had heard about Dreamland, and so we stopped in and had our kind of quintessential Dreamland experience there.
So you got the real deal.
The real deal.
indoctrination.
I remember when the server came up to the table and she said, "How many?" And I thought, this is my kind of place.
Yes. And she was making slabs.
Yes, uh-huh.
Because that's all they had.
That's all
at
they
the
had.
time.
That's right.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So, what has been one of your favorite memories of being in Birmingham?
So many great memories, family memories. Professionally, frankly, probably the thing that stands out the most was the opportunity to honor Harry Brock when I was dean of the business school. Longtime Birmingham business legend, founder of Compass Bank, and just a real fan and supporter of Samford and our School of Business. And because of his generosity and just his legendary business pedigree and achievement, we honored him by naming the School of Business at Samford for him. And so it's now the Brock School of Business. And so being at the helm of the business school during that transition, what an honor that
That is
was
an honor.
to get to know him, number one, but also to give the school an identity, which it now continues to have, obviously. Just a really special memory that I have.
What a legacy.
Yes,
What a legacy.
yes.
And you're involved in Samford activities off campus as well.
Yes. In fact, a lot of the job of the president is to engage with our off-campus stakeholders. I love our time with students, and my time on campus is my favorite time. But I get to travel the world talking to our Samford alumni. We have nearly 57,000 living Samford alumni all over the globe. And so I get on airplanes all the time to go meet with alumni across the country and across the world, but also spend that time working with benefactors and others that want to come alongside the university. Like most universities, Samford depends on the generosity of others. And we have an amazingly generous base of people who support us. And so getting off campus to meet with them, and then meeting with employers and other folks that will hire our students, talking about the incredible graduates that we have at Samford, working with policymakers in Montgomery and DC. I mean, all these things kind of spin me away from campus. In fact, I have to be quite intentional about getting back to campus as much as I can.
Because that's where the magic happens.
That's where it all happens. That's what it's all about.
I think we need to dig
Oh,
in.
let's do.
Let's dig
Please,
in.
I thought you were never going to ask. Very good. Betsy, I remember when we were doing the business makeover, we spent quite a bit of time talking about menu and the menu that you had kind of inherited and the tradition of Dreamland, but
Right.
also the desire to meet the needs of a wider clientele
Right.
and changing dietary needs and preferences and other things. And so you have expanded the menu quite a bit, I
We
think,
have,
since
we have.
since we were talking back in 2008.
Yes, you can have ribs on Monday, a sandwich on Wednesday, and get the nachos on Friday.
Oh, is that the schedule?
That's
Okay,
the
all right.
schedule.
I love
3
it.
days a week. What's on the horizon
Hmm.
with Samford
Yeah.
in the future?
Well, we're growing, and we're so blessed to be growing. Record numbers of students and families are choosing Samford. And this year, for example, we recruited our 14th consecutive record freshman class to
That's
the university.
amazing. Yeah.
The university is just under the 6,000 student mark when you include our graduate students as well. We're growing, and so we have all of the opportunities and challenges that come with growth, right? The opportunities, of course, are expanded degree opportunities, a greater influence in the Birmingham area, bigger impact on our local economy, and just opportunities that are being, made available for our graduates. The challenges are growth. You know that growth is not always easy, and so thinking about parking, academic facilities, meeting the needs of 18 to 22-year-olds primarily in today's educational market, those create things that we really have to sharpen our pencils and think well about. We've just completed a major renovation of our main dining space. Speaking of food,
Yes.
um, that space is affectionately known as the CAF, and it's been the gathering spot for Samford students for decades. The other big thing that we're working on campus right now is the largest building project ever in Samford's history, and that is a new recreation, wellness, and athletic complex that composes 4 different facilities, 4 buildings, and will bring state-of-the-art 21st century health and wellness to our campus. Our students choose Samford because they want to live on campus. And living on campus means not only feeding them and educating them, but also allowing them to take care of themselves and to recreate and to have fun. And this new facility, which is a $65 million facility, will give our students really unparalleled opportunities to take care of themselves physically, mentally, spiritually, really give them another great place to hang out on campus, and will be, I think, really the center of campus life when it's finished.
Wow,
Yeah,
that sounds incredible.
it's really
I
exciting.
think I need to go back to undergrad.
We'll have you anytime, Betsy.
Live on campus. I got my meals, my exercise.
Uh-huh.
Hey, and that's a built-in life.
Yeah, yeah,
So tell me about some of your philanthropic
yeah.
endeavors.
Yeah. Well, in addition to being kind of the philanthropic lead for Samford, I also try to model service in our community for our students. Being the president of Samford gives me lots of opportunities to get plugged into organizations around town. I'm very involved in the Birmingham Business Alliance. As you know, that is the organization in town that is both dually a chamber of commerce as well as our economic development organization, really thinking about how we can best prosper Birmingham businesses, attract additional economic development, those kinds of things. So I spend my time doing that. As an economist, you might expect that I might enjoy doing that. I serve on local boards. One that comes to mind is the Public Affairs Research Council of Alabama, which is a nonpartisan research think tank that is located actually on Samford's campus, that looks at public policy issues in our state that affect our citizens and our children through education and other things. We're very involved at Dawson Memorial Baptist Church, my wife and daughter and I, and so we try to give back as much as we can to our local congregation there.
Wow, busy, busy.
Yes, we are
busy.
very busy.
We are so blessed to have you in our community.
Thank you.
Samford is blessed, but Birmingham is blessed as a whole because of everything that you're doing
Thank
for
you.
our community.
Yeah,
So
thank you. Yes, absolutely. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's a privilege. It really is. And I pinch myself every morning when I drive onto campus and get to work with the amazing students, faculty, and staff that I get to work with on a daily basis. It's really a dream come true.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, so you said banana pudding was
Yes.
your favorite
Yes.
dessert.
Can I try a little?
I'm going to give you one option now. If you want to trade a banana for a chocolate.
I'm gonna stick with the banana, but I maybe later I'll get a little bit of
Yeah,
that.
this is good stuff too. This is actually my recipe
Oh my goodness.
years ago.
Oh, this is good. Yeah.
Isn't that good?
Uh-huh.
Mm.
And I love the serving size too.
Little afternoon pick me up.
Yeah,
right?
just a little. Uh-huh.
Just a little.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out
Thank you.
to spend time with us today.
Thank you.
Share a meal, learn more about you and your family and your journey.
Yeah.
And welcome back to Birmingham,
Thank you.
although it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Just doesn't seem
Thank
that
you.
long. And thank you for being here.
Thank you, Betsy. Well, it's great to be reacquainted with you. And we love Dreamland BBQ. When I was asked during a student video production project, my second week back in Birmingham, what are you looking forward to doing now that you're back in Birmingham? My first answer was go to Dreamland BBQ.
Yay, that's the right answer. That
So
is
it's
the right
been great
answer.
to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.